The past 2 days, players go through media, making the rounds. This was a big topic. Chris Budden with more on that. Chris,
the unique part about tennis is that you have a shared space of the players' lounge and the locker room, and some of his opponents have been very outspoken. The majority of them, to what Patrick said, are not directed the frustration at Sinner himself, but more of the lack of consistency with the system.
Obviously, he's an incredible player, and governing bodies made a decision. They went and did that, and he's cleared to play. And, that's pretty much what I have to say about it.
I am pretty sure that there are a lot of things that we don't know, inside the team or inside, everything. But, if they let Jannik to keep playing is for something. So, he said, or they said he's innocent. So that's all I know, and that's all I can talk about.
I understand that the frustration of the players is there because of lack of consistency. And as I understood, his case was cleared the moment basically it was announced. But, I think 5 or 6 months passed since the news was brought to him and his team. So yeah, there's a lot of issues in the system. We see lack of standardized and clear protocols. I can understand the sentiments of a lot of players that are questioning whether they are treated the same. And hopefully the governing bodies of our sport will be able to learn from this case and have a better approach for the future. I think collectively there has to be a change, and I think that's obvious.
Sinner now understands that there's going to be question marks surrounding his reputation, but he said, in those locker rooms, I know who my friends are, and those friends know that I would never knowingly do something wrong.
Chris, thank you.
Novak is a real leader. He's showing his leadership qualities with how he spoke carefully but directly about what happened. And again, he's been a big part of trying to get this player union off the ground. It hasn't really happened. So, Sinner's going to have to just deal with this. Hopefully he can move on. He's a great player. Everybody knows that. And put this behind him as quickly as we can. And as Alcaraz and even Tiafoe said, you have to trust the people making the decisions. There's experts analyzing this and making these decisions. So at the end of the day, we have to trust in their decision.
Yeah, interesting to see Frances Tiafoe. Sinner beat him in Cincinnati.
Right,
that would have been Frances's biggest title. Sinner also went through press. That was the first step of clearing it and moving on. And he sat there and he took question after question after question. And I said to him, well done in there. He said, I'm just a guy telling my truth, Chris. And then we sat down and spoke extensively as well.
Well, #1 player in the world coming into the final major event, Cincinnati champion. And yet the press conference was mostly about the doping test and allegation. Yes. What have you learned from all of this?
Yeah, it has been, first of all, thanks for having me. It has been a very long way until here. When everything started, in the beginning you don't know if you can keep playing or not. The only way why they allowed me to keep playing was because we knew exactly where the substance was from, how it entered my body, and we told the truth straight away, and they trusted our story. They saw also the amount of how much I had in my body and my system, which is less than 1 billionth of a gram, which is very, very low. And playing it was very tough in this situation, but in my mind I knew that I haven't done anything wrong. Mistakes can happen. Unfortunately, it was a tough one, but it can happen. And now, obviously I'm very relieved about the result. Obviously I have to see the repetition I get from now on, but as I said, I walked all. I have me and my team. They know exactly how it happened. I think as all of you know now, and yeah. So let's see. I'm just happy to be here. I'm finally looking forward to play again, and then we'll see how it goes.
There are some players who have said there's a double standard. Jannik was treated one way, other players have been treated another. You've expressed you've been treated fairly. In my discussion with your coach and my colleague Darren Cahill, he did say, Chris, the one difference is Jannik had the resources for a good legal team. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine going through this process without the expertise surrounding you?
Yeah, it's also in the position where you are in. Obviously, being there where I am, I have the ability to take qualified people. Obviously, if this happens to different, it's gonna be different. But again, I was treated like everyone else. The reason why I kept playing, I just told now, no, because we knew exactly how it entered my system, and where this clostebol was from. The process was very long. Then after it went with even more and then bigger weight, towards the end, because when you feel like the result is coming, you still don't know what's coming out. But it was a not easy period for me, so I'm happy.
You were able to keep playing, yet for those who have watched you over the years, you seem different on the court.
Yeah.
And maybe this is hindsight now, very 2020, but you also missed a bit of time with some illnesses. How did this impact you physically?
Yeah, it has impacted quite a lot, because I was ill. I was not feeling so much energy on the court. I think you saw this, in Wimbledon, for example, that there were sleepless nights sometimes, because thinking of this. There were some physical issues, maybe because of that. The first issue came because of the hip in Monaco. Exactly when it came out. So there has been some very tough moments throughout this whole process. I felt different on the court. I was not happy. I was not myself on the court. But now hopefully I can turn pages. I'm not saying that I'm doing it right now, because it takes still a little bit of time, but I just want to be back happy on court and enjoying and sharing great moments with the crowd.
And yet you won Cincinnati.
Yes.
How did you do that in the middle of this?
Yeah, it was more like, as I said before, knowing that I haven't done anything wrong. Very low expectations, in every tournament I go, and that I have the same here, low expectations because of everything I'm going through, and still trying my best, and then trying to fight, trying to run for every ball, and accepting also this kind of things, which hopefully can make me grow from now on, and looking forward to compete again in a let's say normal way.
Low expectations even for this tournament.
Yeah, because it's that's what we have been gone through. The physical part is not where I want to, but for sure. And also the myself, the feeling I go day by day. As I said before the interview we are making now, I still need some time to get the best feeling possible for this court, and it's gonna be a tough match, on Tuesday already. So. Let's see. Every win is good, mm-hmm. And obviously we are aiming for a very good result here, but we just take it easy.
Final question before I give you the last word. Someone is taking responsibility for this. Obviously, as you said in press, you've made changes to your team. Could you just clarify what you meant? I think you needed space from team members. What are the decisions you've made?
Yeah, I need some clean air now. I know that we had, me and my physical trainer and physio, we had incredible 2 years. I feel like that physically I have changed a lot in 2 years. The physio helped me a lot, and you can see this by the result, and also how my body has grown. But it has been a very, very tough 4 or 5 months now. Now also, you know, the end result is out, and I need some clean air. You know, trying to be back in a happy and different way, and so we try to restart from here. You know, these are the decisions I made, and then we see how it goes in the future.
To close the chapter on this, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, there's nothing really. I mean, it has been a very tough time. It has been a doubtful time. I'm happy that this finally is over, so a lot of weight from my shoulders are gone. I wish that no of the players has to go through this. Yes. I also hope that people understand why they let me keep playing and why I got the no fault. I think I have explained everything in how it was and how it should be, because they have to make the investigation in the same way for everyone. And yeah, that's it. So I hope everyone could understand this and now trying to move on.
Thanks, Jannik.
Thank you.
And that was Jannik Sinner 2 days ago. He'll open play Tuesday. Ash in the afternoon. Mackie McDonald, an American, is his opponent. Darren Cahill, his coach, our colleague, joins me once again. Darren, what's the state of Sinner's team right now?
Yeah, so Jannik decided he needed a bit of space between what's been happening over the last few months. So the two boys, Umberto and Giacomo, are not with the team anymore. So we have an osteopath who's over here. He's been a part of the team for a long while, doesn't do too many weeks travelling. And his name's Andrea, so he's here, and we're in the midst of talking about a new physical trainer. So, as Jannik said, incredibly difficult for us because both of those guys, Giacomo and Umberto, did such an amazing job, and they're a big part of the reason why Jannik is where he is here at the moment. So this has been incredibly traumatic for us, and I try to say it's like an iceberg. You know, you see the ice on top of the ocean and you're coming towards it and you're pretty sure you can navigate through it and around it, and we can all get through this as a team. But when you dig deep and go underwater, it's just been massive for him. So that's why he probably needs a little bit of space now, and unfortunately the boys won't be continuing with us.
Expectations. He said they're low. They have been low, although he's been winning, and he doesn't expect much here.
Honestly, Chris, I had the lowest of low expectations in Cincinnati, knowing behind the scenes what he was going through and what he was dealing with, and he came through and won the event. So he's an amazing young man. He's obviously clearly a fighter and a great tennis player, but to be a champion the way he is, you've got to build up great resilience, have belief in yourself, and he does that when he steps onto the tennis court. And quite often also with these tennis players, between the lines becomes their safe place. That's the place they love to be. And when they get out there, they become a bit different people. So we've had the last couple of days on the practice court. He had a really good session yesterday on Arthur Ashe Stadium for about 2 hours with Struffy. And it was a couple of great sets, and he's out with Bayers practicing at the moment. And the last 2 days, you've seen a little bit more energy in the way he's moving around and enthusiasm, and he's pretty happy with where his game is at the moment. So you never know. I don't have low expectations. I think he can do well here.
Yeah, that's what struck me when he said I was not happy on the court. He didn't even have a happy place.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he does now. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot going on clearly still, and I think as time goes on, people will see that he got no advantages. The system is what it is. He abided by the system, and 4 independent judges all ruled that there was no fault whatsoever on his behalf. 3 expert scientists, the same thing. And so we can debate whether or not there could have been some other result, but it is what it is, and he needs to move on and hold his head up high because he's done nothing wrong.
And reputation, that will just take time, one way or the other.
And he'll learn that. He'll fight hard for that.
All right.